The Kick and Makeup MMA show is brought to you by Neon Energy Drink. Light it up.
Can I kick it? Yes, you can. Can I kick it? Yes, you can. Can I kick it? Yes, you can. Well, I'm going. Go on, man. Can I kick it?
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Kick and Makeup show. I'm the American hybrid Nick Cunningham. With me, as always, Jeremy J.D. Dorsey, and we are live here at Analog Arcade Bar, 302 Brady Street, Davenport, Iowa. Man, like I was telling you, man, this place was kicking. What did I say? Banging, kicking.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Last Saturday night. So if you guys haven't been down here yet, make sure you get down here, downtown Brady, downtown Davenport, Brady Street. If you're local, you know exactly where that's at. Man, we've got a new spot in the place today.
So yeah, we switched up the locale a little bit, and so you can see the video games in the background a little bit. Just a different corner of the place.
I'm surrounded by X-Men, Captain America, Simpsons, and Ninja
Turtles.
This
Yep.
is like the story of my childhood.
Yep.
Around me right now, man. Some of my favorite games. But
How much money did you waste? Like, for me specifically, in that Ninja Turtles game right there,
yeah.
I probably wasted a few $100 easy.
Yeah.
Easy.
Man, I went through a lot of. If you guys remember Aladdin's Castle too, man, you had pouches. I think $10, at least $10, $20 a day, multiple times a week.
Oh, of course.
So yeah, we're probably into the.
Mine was at the laundromat. Like, there was a laundromat like right down the block from the house. So me and my cousins would go there like darn near every day and just waste and drop quarters into that. And then later on, Mortal Kombat. Like,
love it, man.
So much money, man. But they got all those here. That's the cool part, and it's way cheaper.
Yeah. So thank you again. No laundromat. No, can't do your
I
laundry
can't
here.
wash
They
your clothes
might
here.
frown upon that if you want. Maybe you can if you spill, you can go in the bathroom and do a quick little sink wash. But
And can we talk about the sinks here? I
Yeah,
love the sinks
I do
here.
too, man. Maybe
They have
one
like
time-
what is that part of the faucet called? The spout where the water comes out?
it's like a little waterfall that goes
Yeah, it's
down.
like open so you can
Yeah.
see the water come out. Yeah, it's like a waterfall. It's sick.
It's pretty nice.
It's like somebody just decided to cut the top of it off and
Let's
you
go.
can just
Let's
see
go in
it.
there and show everybody right now.
We should do a show from the bathroom.
Yeah, there's nothing illegal about taking a video camera to the bathroom
No,
for our show, right?
no.
No, not at all.
How about this? I'll if somebody asks me to do it, I'll tweet out. I'll take a picture and I'll tweet out the picture if somebody really wants to see it.
Yeah.
So that way we'll see how many people are watching the show, how many people really have a crazy curiosity about it, and I'll take the picture today, but I'm not gonna post it unless somebody asks me to
That
do
way
it.
you're
So
just the accomplice.
hit me
because
up.
You just took the picture.
Right.
Somebody else requested
Yep.
it. So really,
it's
they're
not
the
on me.
mastermind.
It's
Exactly.
not on me.
Yeah,
At kickandmakeup.com or at kickandmakeup on Twitter.
Thank you to once again Analog, for letting us come down here every week. We love this as our home. Our sponsor, Neon Energy Drink, www.glowenergy.neonenergy.com. Go there, check out everything about the drink. I told JD I had a skit ready to go. We forgot our drinks this week.
I forgot the neon, man.
So stay tuned next week. There's gonna be a nice little skit. I was all ready.
And I
to
would have
go.
been matching. Like, I'm extra neon-y today. It's kind of weird to be so dark and neon at the same time, but hey, it would have worked.
Neon Darkness.
Yep. That should be like my WWE name.
Neon Darkness.
Neon Darkness.
So
Hashtag.
right, man. It's already getting weird. It's already hashtag getting weird. I love it, man. And legit too, I really wanted an energy drink too, just cause it's been a long day, man, and I could have legitimately used it today too. So we back the product. We like the product. We don't just talk about it and drink it on the show. Like, we really do like it. So thank you, Neon Energy Drink.
It's been a long weekend of fights, man.
That's what
Extended weekend.
I'm tired. Like, man, really though, I'm tired from watching all the fights. I loved it, but it was a long 3-day weekend of fights, man.
It really was. Top to bottom, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, something constantly going on. A lot of highs, a lot of lows, which we'll definitely get into. But yeah, it was
we're
fun.
gonna get into those, man. We're gonna get the particulars out of the way first. www.kickandmakeup.com is the website. Check it out to see all of our archive shows. We're both on Twitter. JD and the shows is at kickandmakeup.com. Mine is at Hybrid MMA, and man, you've been blowing it up on Twitter, man.
Yeah. It's like I always told you, like, you get to a certain point with followers that all of a sudden like Twitter becomes fun because you can say things and people start interacting with you. Like before you get to that point, it's like you just say stuff and nobody ever responds. So we've gotten to that point now where
awesome,
people
man.
always talk to us and they send us stuff random. They ask all sorts of questions and stuff. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, thank
I
you
love
guys.
it.
Thank you
Oh,
guys
big
for
shout
the
out to the
support,
haters
man.
too. And our one person on YouTube who every week decides to give us a thumbs down. You're the only one, bro.
I feel like we know
You're the
you
only
too.
wrong.
I feel
Oh,
like we know
I
you.
really think that he commented last time and kind of me and him had a long back and forth on the YouTube comments. So I kind of think I know that well, I know his alias. I don't know if we know him in person. We probably do. Probably somebody we work with or something
We're
like
gonna
that.
blow up this summer and then hire
Yep.
a personal investigator. We'll find
Yep.
out who you are. Hey,
Yep.
but any attention is good attention.
It
so I
is.
will take it. Thank you, sir.
I heard haters.
Yes. Instagram, we're on there too. YouTube, obviously, Kick and Makeup. That's all the handles. That's everything you need to know for your Kick and Makeup information.
Viewing pleasure.
I am ready to get into this show, though, man. We're going to get a few announcements out of the way first before we do the high kick, low kick, and that's some bull kick, which that's how we do the show. If this is the first time, welcome. And the high kick is what we thought was the best thing going on in the week. The low kick, how was that? This whole time I just noticed I was talking like this. When I go back and watch this, I'm going to see why.
Let's just do the whole show like this.
I just like
Hey.
set up. I'm like, was the whole first 7 minutes like this? All right, man. Let me readjust here, man. Okay, high kick.
We changed the background and like everything's different
Threw me
now.
off, man. This machine over here is playing itself. Ghost machine, like. Man. All right, we gotta get our shit together. All right, I gotta get my shit together. All right, so high kick is what we thought was the best of the week. Low kick is what we thought was the worst, and that's some bull kick. It's winning, I think.
Right.
In the book,
The hardest game on earth is over there, and somehow the computer just
killing it
all the
murdering it.
time.
And then the that's some bull kick is what we think is just crazy. We want to rant about it. We want to just unfilter, go in, and then the show's over. That's how we do it.
Yep.
Then it gets weird, then the show's over.
Yeah.
So, biggest announcement, I think, this week is that Bellator announced that it was going to be promoting kickboxing with its own promotion. Bellator Kickboxing, April 16th is the debut. Scott Coker, CEO, said he jumped at the opportunity to start his own promotion once the relationship between Spike TV and Glory disbanded in 2015. I remember immediately I text you and said, awesome. I feel like there's going to be, I just said this a couple minutes ago, a wave in kickboxing for some reason right now. I feel like kickboxing is going to get more popular this year and next year.
Yep.
And this is a great move by Bellator. And I even joked around and said Bellator has got this push-pull relationship with us where I hate them and then they do this and I like them again.
Yep. And there's so many kickboxing events that sort of go under the radar and you don't know about them, but me and you have seen a lot of live kickboxing and those can be very entertaining, ridiculously entertaining, let alone the all the things that you see now on UFC Fight Pass with all of their backing with kickboxing and stuff now. So kickboxing is gonna have a big renaissance, I believe, in 2016 that we
I don't know why either, though.
yeah, I'm not sure
I
either.
love it,
I'm not sure either.
But I don't know why. Because I've always, watched the Glories, and I just enjoy high-level kickboxing. I feel like it's even a little bit more dangerous and more violent and aggressive than MMA sometimes because there is no takedowns, there's no clinches really, there's no groundwork. I mean, it's just kicks and knees and punches, and they come in swift and hard, and it's awesome, man.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for that.
Yeah, I am too.
Anthony Pettis and Anthony Barboza. Nope, that's not his name. Anthony Pettis and Edson Barboza have been added to the UFC 197 card, Jones versus Cormier on April 23rd. Awesome, right?
Very awesome. It's gonna be a big time test for Pettis. Sort of a quick turnaround, I feel, from his last fight, and I don't know how much he's gonna be able to go back into his drawing board and change his game plan up, but he's gonna have to do something different because, like we said before, the book is out on him, and if he doesn't change his strategies up, he's probably gonna end up the same way that he did in his last fight, getting ground to a pulp for three rounds.
That I don't know because I think I like this matchup because this is kickboxing at its best. You got Barboza, one of the best kickers. You got Anthony Pettis, one of the flashiest kickers. So you do have I feel like this is really evenly matched to a point. That's why you asked me who I thought was going to win.
Yeah.
The jury's still out. I still don't
This
know.
this is one of those fights where I wonder though. Yeah, the matchup seems great. Like both of these guys' strengths are the same, but is it going to be one of those fights where, you know, sort of like we had last time, we expected one thing and got something totally different? We had somebody who was a brawler, a fighter, decide to wrestle for 3 rounds, and I wonder if Barboza is, since the book is out on Pettis, is he going to change up what he does and try to wrestle a little bit? I mean, me personally, if that's my strength, I'm going to go with my strength. Right. I'm not gonna change up what I do just to do something different or feel like that's gonna get me a W. But who knows? Both of these guys could use a win at this point. So it'll be interesting to see if Pettis decides to do something
maybe
different.
he goes back to wrestling and groundwork because that's how he got the belt.
Yeah,
as in Henderson.
Yep.
He armbarred him in the first round.
Yep.
Nobody saw that coming.
Yep.
So I'm excited for that. I'm also excited for Yair Rodriguez to fight Andre Fili and they're both featherweights. They're going to be on the card that night. Yair Rodriguez is the tough Latin America winner. Dude, I've been a fan of this guy for about a year now, I think, when he started popping up. I'm really trying to get an interview with him. I've been trying for a while. Like, I want to follow this guy a little bit more because he's like the face of the new UFC coming in. Flashy, dangerous, featherweight division, you know, needs somebody right now to come up and kind of rise in the ranks, and I think this is perfect, man. He's perfect person for that.
And still sort of under the radar. That's the thing. Like there's a lot of the quote unquote up and comers that everybody seems to know about, and you know people like Conor McGregor. I don't know why people still consider him an up and comer at this point when he's already got the belt, but you know, maybe because of his age, but yeah, just seeing that he's still under the radar, and it's going to be sort of a coming out party for him this time, getting the publicity for this event. So I don't think he'll be under the radar after this match.
So UFC 197, man, a pretty complete card.
Oh yeah,
I'm excited for that one. And then also it was announced a couple days ago that Alistair Overeem will fight his teammate Andre Arvlovski in May at the UFC Fight Night Rotterdam in the Netherlands. So, okay, yeah.
All right.
I like Overeem still, man. You know, is his chin suspect? Yes. I've never really liked Andre Arvlovski.
Yeah.
And I don't know why.
Besides his mouth guard.
Besides his mouth guard. Yeah. And that in the 2000s, that was the coolest mouth guard ever. Like with the beard too, just like action figure like
he was ready to attack somebody.
He'll beat you and then he will eat
Bite you.
Yeah, but I don't know. So I'm gonna probably pull for Overeem in that one. I think he's a good. I mean, I'm excited that he's still around. And
are you talking about Overeem, that he's still around? Okay.
Yeah, I'm excited for him. I know there was some stuff on the line that he was gonna leave, come back. So I'm happy for that. And you know, teammate fights are always interesting to watch. So.
Yep.
Those were kind of the big announcements of the week so far. Before we get into the high kick and the low kick and that's some bull kick, I guess. I don't know why I had this in this order, but we're going to talk about UFC Pittsburgh. Because UFC Pittsburgh really didn't make, the fight night last night, didn't really make the cut for high kick, low kick, or bull kick. But it was still a really good card. It just didn't make those. So maybe we can start let's start with Derick Brunson, Cody Garbrandt, and Chris Camozzi. All getting first round TKOs.
Yep.
What do you think about that, man? Well, I mean, that's pretty nice too. And I even said too, for those that DVR'd it was nice to just go back and not have to.
The only thing that the only thing that stood out for me was the sort of weirdness of Mario Yamasaki. I know you noticed that too.
He did it twice.
But yeah,
Twice last night.
I mean, how, especially with the Garbrandt fight, that. I mean, the guy is clearly, or even in the Cerrone fight, the clearly tapping, and you're just not gonna stop it. Like, what? It's kind of weird.
Yeah,
kind of weird.
So Garbrandt landed the shot. It was a great shot. The guy goes down, but he's sitting up. It was a flash knockout.
Yeah.
But you know, he kind of celebrated early, and then there was like this pause. And then he went back down for like one more, and then he called it. It was weird. I think that's going to be age-old with referees. They're never going to get it right. They're always going to be criticized. But 2 or 3 times in a night, that's a little weird. That's a little out of pocket. So
yeah, I think the more egregious sort of I won't even call it an error. It was just a little weirdness was the Cerrone one where he's, the guy's tapping, Cerrone's pointing at him tapping.
He said, hey, look.
Like, I got him. When you gonna stop
weird.
it?
Yeah, that was weird.
Yeah, that was kind of odd. But
before we talk about the Cerrone, I want to read this exactly how I had it written down in the notes. Derick Brunson, Cody Garbrandt, and Chris Camozzi get first-round TKOs, and Joe Riggs to stop fighting immediately.
Do we need to talk about our text stream that we had going last night?
We don't need to talk about that. But
just some I'll fill in just a little bit. We just had because we're not the only ones that watch fights. Obviously, we got a bunch of friends who watch fights too. Shout out to Munson and Nemi, but we just started texting after that happened, and it was amazing to see that everybody at one time was just like, Riggs needs to stop.
Yeah,
he just needs to stop. And I mean, like I always go back and forth on this because I feel like, even when we talk about like the legend fights, like we'll get into that later, I always feel like I'm not necessarily the person to tell someone that they should stop doing what they love. But when you have performances that tell you should stop doing what you love, you should probably stop doing what you love.
Well, also though, and I wouldn't tell somebody that if they were young, I
Right.
guess, but if he's 41 and 16, he has, almost 60 fights that are pro. Who knows how many amateur he has? He could be up at 100. And you go out there, I don't think he landed a shot on Camozzi.
Nope.
He took a huge straight jab that popped his head back, and then he took 7 knees to the arm. He broke his arm.
Yep.
It was just, it was a complete dismantling. You don't need, you're done. Like if that, and he's not going to want to go out on that note.
Right.
Either. But you're done. Like, and that's okay that you're done because you fought probably 100 times. So it's tough though, man. I think I would at that point tell my friend, hey man, I can't support this anymore. Like, or don't talk to me about it. I don't go that route. Like if you're going to do it, then don't talk to me about it. I don't support it anymore.
Right.
And I don't think that's a bad thing to do if you had 60-some fights or whatever.
And especially like you said, the way he went out, like those knees, like that, you can't tell me that isn't going to do some sort of lasting damage, even beyond the broken forearm that he got from it. Like that made me cringe, Yeah. And I remember tweeting about it too, just saying like, oh, that's not good. Like he took, 78 knees to the head and eventually fell down. But man, it was just rough to watch. And I hate when the sport becomes rough to watch.
Yeah, because I watch it for those endings, but not endings like that.
Right.
Like, so you're right, man. So I thought overall, even all those very impressive. I want to talk about too a little bit later too, the weight cutting. I didn't know that Cody Garbrandt's guy, 26 pounds in 4 days or something. We're gonna get into that kind of stuff later though, but I don't know, man. I don't know. I do know. It's no good. It's no good. So we'll get in that later.
Yeah, I'll save it.
Impressive. He looked good though, man.
He did.
And I kept hearing that he had a lot of love from the crowd, ridiculous amounts of love from the crowd. So to support our last show, he's probably going to be facing some higher people coming up here soon to see what he's got.
And since we're talking about the crowd, what was up with that crowd? I don't know if it was just me, but it seemed like they were asleep most of the entire time until that fight, and then they woke up. Then they went back to sleep later. Like, I just get so disappointed. And I was talking to somebody on Twitter, shout out to Niall, but and he was saying that most of the fights stateside aren't really exciting, or the crowds aren't really amped and jacked like that. And I was like, well, I would say the best one that we've probably been to, well, at least for me, was probably UFC Milwaukee, and hearing that crowd, like the building shook when Anthony Pettis came out, and it shook even harder once he won. But
yeah, it depends on the card too. I went to see Brock Lesnar and fight in Minnesota with in the co-main event of a GSP Fitch. The place was shaking as well. Like so it doesn't matter. But I laughed to myself when you said what's up with the crowd, because I forgot. I think it was Brian Stan that tweeted, apparently sleeves are optional in Pittsburgh, because there was a guy with like a vest on and no sleeves, and he was next to, and I know it's somebody that's in the NFL. I just don't know who it is, but that's what he wore. He wore a vest. Like it'd be like coming here, me doing a puff vest in the 90s, no sleeves. Like, no, No, you're pretty much front row too, so you can't get lost in the crowd.
Hey, maybe
whatever,
he
man.
was going. Maybe he was gonna swim after that or something.
Yes, man. I guess.
Gonna go whitewater rafting.
Yeah, but the water's real close, I guess. All right. So, yeah, let's go to the main event: Cowboy versus Cowboy. Cowboy Cerrone versus Cowboy Oliviera. Cerrone gets the first round triangle, man. New weight class. I didn't expect that at all.
Yeah, I didn't know if I kept going back and forth. I couldn't decide if he looked like he fit that weight class better or if he looked small. I kind of felt like he looked a little small.
See, I felt like he looked bigger. Well, he was
Really?
bigger, but
Yeah.
I felt like he looked okay. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know what I was gonna expect.
Right,
Some guy,
right.
like out of shape, Cerrone. Like, I just expected the worst, and I saw him like, he looks fine, man. Like,
Yeah.
so he might fit. But I didn't expect that. But then once I just said that out loud now, Cerrone and Henderson Trilogy, that was some of the best jiu-jitsu in
It
the
was.
WEC at that time, you know, 8 years ago. Their fights were ridiculous back and forth on the ground.
Yep.
So I forgot that he had that in his arsenal.
Yep, that was the first thing they mentioned on the post show on Fox Sports 1 is that people forget
I
that
did
you
too,
know
man.
that
I
he's
did too.
world class when it comes to that too, and yeah, you get so used to the kicks and
The way he did it though, too,
right,
was
right,
very elite.
it was slick, yeah,
He
it was
on
slick,
top, put it on, then
rolled over, yep,
So that when he did that, I'm like, oh man, I don't
Yeah.
even think a lot of people see the triangle when you're
Right.
in the mounted position.
right.
For him to just kind of move this leg around, move on, and roll over.
Yep, and it's already too late.
Then it was he didn't even need his arms. Like, so I'm pretty impressed. Don't know what happens next with him. Don't know
Yeah.
what they'll do in that division. Where does he ranked?
Oh man,
And
I don't.
When you come in a new division, are you below 10? Obviously, you're not in top 10 yet of that division, are you?
No, you wouldn't
But
think
it's weird
so.
for him not to be because he's down Cerrone.
Right.
So does he get to like 7 or 8 now with that win, or?
No, I would probably say somewhere in the 10-11 range. I would think that he has to earn it, but you just kind of think that it's more of a step backwards for him, and that it's going to take him at least another 3 to 4 fights to get to, you know, the level of contending for a belt, and
But,
then
then you're up with the Condits
And
and,
then-
the
and that's the
Lawlers,
thing, and
you're not
not at that level, right? So what are you really doing? Is what my question is, and like I said it on Twitter. I was one who thought that he was going to lose. I
did
pretty
too.
certain of that
Yeah.
fact. I didn't think that him moving up in weight was going to be anything of a benefit for him. So I was shocked by the outcome. And that's not to say that, you know, I'm not a fan of his, because I am. And I like the shtick. I like the whole cowboy thing. But, yeah, where does he go? What's the end game
I
with
just
this?
thought of something. He's the welterweight card saver.
Yeah, because
If
people love him.
people love him. Anybody gets injured, he's already known to fight anytime, anywhere.
He's gonna fight again like next weekend or something, probably.
So, yeah, he's on that card. So that's what it is. He's gonna be the welterweight card filler inner. I just made that up. Filler inner. And I'll watch, man. Everybody will watch.
And that's not really a bad position, as long as he's okay with that. And you just have to wonder where he views himself at this point.
You know what though? That's a quick way to build that resume up in that division. You know, between now and September, he'll fight 3 more times probably.
Right.
So, nice way to build your way up. So, yeah, it was a nice Sunday evening card to cap off. You know, like you said, a long weekend of fights. I love Sunday night cards. Love them, man.
Yeah.
Like, it's just relaxing. I don't know.
The only thing I didn't like was it seemed like there were a lot of commercials, and it was tough watching in between you would jump from fight to fight. Like, sometimes the fights had just one commercial break in between them. Other times there were, 15, 20-minute breaks, and it was just a little tough to hang in there and watch. But
So what happens if you have three first round
Yeah.
TKOs, man?
Yep.
I always know that's the case, man.
Yep.
Which I appreciate.
Gonna be waiting.
Because I had to do a little DVRing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good, man. Good
It was.
Sunday night card.
It was.
Pittsburgh, the Pittsburgh card.
Pittsburgh cards.
The Pittsburgh cards are always exciting and nice, and So that was cool, man. Now for the meat and potatoes.
Now the show starts.
Now for the meat and potatoes of kick and makeup. The high kick for this week goes to, I'm gonna stop talking about it. Goes to Marlon Maroes for his win over Joseph Barajas at World Series of Fighting 28 on Saturday night. Man, so in the co-main event, newcomer Chris Gutierrez got the controversial win over Tamar Valiv, which they were trying to set up a fight with Maroes, but the newcomer's too new, so they're not going to do that. So now I don't know what they're going to do. Maroes has one fight left in his contract and said at the interview that he would fight any champion, 45, 55. I know I got excited because Justin Gagey is one of my favorite fighters for WSOF. First of all, Marlon Maroes.
Yeah, and just
Can we give a hand clap, slow clap?
Yeah, definitely.
Can we? I like that.
If I could lift my leg high, I would do a high kick.
I like
but
that
I
we
can't really
pumped
do
him
that.
up, man, and he lived up.
Delivered.
Oh my God, man!
And if anybody should deserve a high kick for this week, is him with the kicks that he was landing. And I mean, it was so quick. He probably only landed like 3, but I mean, it was just the power behind him. And there's always that. The one thing I love about fights is that most of the time, I would say 80-85% of fights, the more talented fighter wins. And that talent always stands out. You can see talent, and you know that this guy is someone who is, probably destined to be in the UFC and is going to be a high-level contender once he gets there, too.
Yeah, definitely. I'm excited for that. Like I said, one fight left. My question on here, too, was, is this going to be the new thing where champions get to jump into other divisions? I hope not, but I love watching those fight. Like like a good super fight. I don't want to watch a legend super fight or like a one that doesn't make sense, but like 2 champions that are like 10 pounds off of each other. I'll watch that all day. And so I wonder if they're gonna do if they're gonna do that for his last one. But then if that's your last one, you get the belt, you leave with 2 belts, and then the belt's vacant. So I don't know, probably not. But I thought his interview was awesome. He's just like, I'll fight anybody. I'm not saying I'm cocky, but I'm just that confident in my ability. He wasn't an asshole about it. He's just that good, and he needs to be on a higher level. He needs more marketing, and people need to know who this guy is, man. I love watching. That's why I said chop the tree down.
Yep.
God, man. It was one where he kicked him, spun him around, and it was a delayed. The leg just gave out. Yep. Early.
Yep.
How hard were those kicks coming through?
Yeah. Like I said, what did he land? Maybe 3 of them?
Yeah,
but it was.
I'm like, what? And then I started feeling the back of my leg. I'm like, did he hit one of these tendons? Or what?
Yeah, because he felt like a ton of bricks, man.
I'm a big fan, man. So that was in just MMA fans, everybody that watches this show, please comment. Just what the doctor ordered, right after Friday night. Just the meal we needed after the dumpster diving that we did on Friday night for MMA. We got a porterhouse steak within World Series of Fighting, and I'm a big fan of them too. And God, thank you World Series of Fighting for putting a card on Saturday night to follow whatever we watched on Friday.
It was something.
Let's just get into it. That's the high kick. Unless we want to talk about Maroes anymore.
No,
we don't. It was a quick fight. I want the low kick. I want to get into. Hold on. Yeah. Let's clear the palate.
All right. Low kick.
Bellator 149. Kimbo and Dada 5000 fight. The worst fight I've ever seen in my life. And maybe I might be going back to like first grade even in schoolyard. I don't know, man. Top. And I was trying to legitimately think of worst fights I've seen on live TV or live, and I really couldn't think of any. So Dada 5000 went in. So Kimbo Slice gets the victory. It's the moral victory. I don't know if he gets it on paper.
And Dada got renal failure.
And Dada almost died. Dead 5,000.
It's so not funny,
it's
but
not funny,
God,
but
come on.
It's sad, man. So let me just read this off. He went into cardiac arrest after the fight. He had to be revived, so his heart stopped. So he died. Like, his heart stopped. They had to revive him. It was reported that he had a high level of potassium in his blood, which led to dehydration, fatigue, and renal failure, likely caused by the 40-pound weight cut. I don't know. I mean, we're gonna go into the weight cut again in the bull kick, but it was just watching it. I don't think they trained. They couldn't have. And you asked a phenomenal question.
Yep,
to me.
it was the first question I asked you when I saw you.
He said, you know, if you give me 4 months to train, what do you think I could do with that? You and anybody watching this that's fought, or even anybody that's trained for anything, and even if you are training to be a writer for 4 months,
right?
Or you're training to you know, build things, 4 months of hard work, you are 100% better than when you started in that 4 months.
Right.
If you're not, you didn't do it. You didn't train, and it just looked like both of them didn't train. It looked like Kimbo had some pop behind his punches early on, which I expected. He was on Tough. He's been in the UFC.
Right.
I expected some of that to be almost muscle memory. Dada 5000, all that shit he talked and didn't back up a single thing. It was terrible, dude.
Yeah, I mean it was. You know the sort of change in stance that I specifically had, that you kind of had too going into this, that we had sort of went from this is going to be ridiculous to kind of excited about this, and then it completely sort of let us down.
Yeah.
And I think in theory that fight could have been awesome if you sort of just think about if the fighters decided to be professional, because at the end of the day, I think it was a lack of professionalism which led to what we saw. If those guys had came in and had been training hard the entire time, yeah, we could have seen something that would have been at least exciting and entertaining, as opposed to both guys being completely gassed and out of shape
In a minute.
Yeah, a minute and a half into the first round, and then for it to go 3 rounds. And who I really felt bad was for the commentators, just to hear them have to sort of, you know, try to keep excitement going, and even they knew that it was total BS by the time they got to the 3rd round.
And I've said that a couple times as commentators, man. We both been commentators.
Yep.
It's hard to pull bullshit out of your ass when there's nothing going on.
Right.
And I loved the beginning of the 3rd round. Something I didn't think I would ever be saying. Round 3 of Kimbo Slice and Dada 5000. I'm like, what are these? I mean, how hard to be professional as a commentator when you got that garbage going on. It's insulting. It's just, it can't happen anymore. It can't happen anymore. And I even told you too, like, I watched the countdown, and I kind of like Dada 5000. I kind of like Kimbo in that. And I guess this has nothing to do with their personalities, with the fighting style, but it got me excited to watch them fight, and which I wasn't before. And then it just was a complete letdown, man.
Yeah,
so
and
I think Bellator's got to be done with these type of shit shows, man.
Right, and I mean, well, I don't know if you necessarily have to be done with it. You have to. It's almost like when you make a bad hire at a job, and you let that person go. Hopefully, you learn from that, and you bring in someone who's going to be, you know, better at the job. So you can do a super fight, but you need to vet the guys and know that they're going to put in 100% effort, because it not only makes Bellator look bad, it makes the sport look bad, because it goes from being, you know, something of a, you know, legitimate, you know, a sporting event, which we love, and then it gets diminished to SportsCenter not top 10 levels when you see Dada get hit with a punch in the shoulder and, you know, circle around the ring and then collapse. Like, it was
knockout ever. I mean, but that was him dying. I told you. And it really was, though, and I shouldn't laugh, but I was watching the fight, and when he got hit with the shot in the 3rd round, he gave this weird look. I'm like, that's a weird look on his face. What is that? That's him shutting down. And then he took a couple more, and then he just give that weird circle around fall. I'm like,
and collapse.
dude's brain dead. Like,
Yeah, like this-
that's that look. It's
The
brain.
stretcher had to come out and bring him, take him
Man,
out. Like,
I was like, oh, if this is your first time watching MMA and that was a fight you watched, please watch more, because that's what I always get mad about too.
Right.
Somebody just turn to the channel to be like, let me check this MMA out, because I know there's still people like that out there.
a lot.
And I know there was somebody that night too, because they had 2 million views, like biggest card ever on Bellator or something close to it. And there was a few people that were like, oh, this is fucking MMA.
Right.
I'm good.
Yep.
And I'm like, okay, I get it. I get it from that night, but
Yeah. And it was sad that, you know, that you seen it go down like that. And think if he actually had died, you know, like the fallout from that, just for Bellator, like that's a risk.
not just for 1 minute. Like,
Yeah,
died, 'cause
like
he did die for
yeah,
a minute.
like I mean, like for real,
Yeah, I know.
like died and never came back, like that. I just think about
Devastating to the sport.
it's devastating to the sport, and then thinking of on a smaller level of what Bellator would have had to do, like and now that would have ended all super fights. That would have done it for him. But now I don't know. Maybe they're gonna try to go back to the drawing board and try to, you know, maybe pick a different sort of, you know, super fight. But I mean, to me, Kimbo has to be done too. Like, even though he won, I mean, I guess we could just say he didn't die. So
We all lost that night. Nobody won that fight, man. We all lost. So I put it like this. Kimbo and Dada is like the acid bath. Like, we jumped into the vat of acid. And then the main event's the Salt Factory. Let's run through the Salt Factory.
Let's roll him in salt.
Yeah, let's roll around in salt after our acid bath. Ken Shamrock, Hoist Gracie, main event. Oh God! So Hoist Gracie gets the TKO win.
That's the sound that it made too. I don't know if you could hear
That's
that.
what happened. Nice cool beer game was like, boo, he won. So first of all, I just had a couple notes here. Gracie chose not to wrap his hand so that he could grapple better. Cheating.
And
You can't
It was
choose
just
to
it was blunt. Like they just came out and said it. Like, how do you just decide not to wrap your hands?
You can't. It's part of the fucking uniform. Like, it's like you know, it'd be like one guy being like, "I'm gonna just put like UFC 1. I'm gonna put one glove on so his other hand is open for me to do more things." Well, great. We'd all like to do that, but
Yes.
you gotta do. So the fact that they let him not wrap his hands so he could grapple better is giving him an advantage, which we don't do in the sport. I don't care who you are. I don't fucking care if you're Hoist Gracie. I'm over that. Thank you, Hoist Gracie, so much for bringing. We've thanked you. We've done documentaries. You have. I mean, like, come on, man. We're appreciative of what you did, but you can't do whatever you want in the sport anymore. So there. So he gets the first round TKO. It was a controversial knee. So he need him. So he need him in the head, which is what we all thought at first. He got kneed in the head. He Shamrock grabbed his groin like he got low blow, and we're all like, so not a low blow, man. Punched in the knee in the head. You're low. Your nuts hurt. That's weird. I don't think so. It did look like he grazed the cup a little bit, but anybody that fights too knows the difference between taking a knee fully up and under the cup and then just grazing over the cup.
Yes.
That was a cup grazer. You don't go down like that from a cup grazer. So what here? Before I fucking flip this table and trash this fucking place. Just kidding, Analog. I'm not gonna. But what do you think, man? I want to give the quote that Gracie said when he was interviewed after his win too.
I don't know what I thought. I kind of felt like it was the second Shamrock fight in a row that was fixed / weird ending. Like I don't get that. Like it, and you know him yelling at you after you know what you did. Like
you were there. What?
And it made no sense in the context of what actually happened. So that's what makes me feel like it was some fixing or something weird. But I don't even know how or why it was fixed. Like it was.
Yeah.
I mean, it could have been. I guess it could have been fixed in that the knee was planned and that you were supposed to go down on the knee, but that doesn't even really make sense considering the context of what happened. And I guess, you know, maybe he had a brain fart and just said, "Oh, well, this is what we're supposed to do," and he did it.
Yeah,
but
that's what it looked like.
It's it's ridiculous.
Why are you fixing fights
Right.
for Gracie to win?
Right.
What's this set up for him? Like, I'm
Yeah, what is? Oh God. Well, we kind of know.
Oh Jesus.
We kind of know
Christ.
where it goes from here.
Jesus.
Where it
Christ.
could go from here, I should
forgot.
say.
We're not getting into that yet.
Nope.
Fuck.
Nope.
that gets
Just please don't do it, Bellator. Please don't do it. No matter who tells you to do it, don't do it.
Oh my God.
Just don't do it.
Right. So let's switch topics quickly. So when they talked to Royce Gracie, first of all, I didn't like his demeanor after he won too, and then the winning by hammer fist without wrapped hands. So it's a street fight. That's what it is. Cool. He talks to him, gets asked what he thinks about it. He said, "I'm a fighter. I'm here to fight. We come from the beginning. No gloves, no rule, no time limit, no weight divisions." Okay, that was like 94. Like it's
UFC 1.
Yeah, it's 2 decades later. That's the stupidest answer I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah.
Like there are rules now. There are gloves and wraps. Contrary to what you believe, there are time limits. Knees aren't allowed. Like, so what did he just default back? Like, I'm just gonna keep fighting like I did in UFC 1, and you're all gonna let me do it because it's me. That's what I took out of it.
Yeah.
Like, that was the stupidest. That was pretty much him admitting, like, I just did whatever I wanted to in the fight, and you're gonna let me.
Right, and it makes you feel like, was the fight actually sanctioned? Like, is it something just these? There of course there isn't a Legends belt or anything like that on the line or whatever. So I guess you kind of could do that, but you don't. The whole premise of it is ridiculous to begin with. And like I was saying earlier in the show, who am I to tell you that you shouldn't be fighting still, or this is what you love to do? Who am I to tell you that you should stop? But when the sport tells you to stop, when things like that happen, when you have weird endings to fights, when you have the controversy of something being fixed or whatever it is, it's over. It's done. And at some point you got to stop. And I think this is everybody on the planet telling you to stop at this point.
Or see the shit-eating grip. So we have a big announcement that we're not going to tell you guys today. We're going to wait till in 2 weeks in our next show. Big show. Announcement. Really good. I think maybe we can host the fourth fight. Since you said, is it sanctioned? We can have an unsanctioned.
Yep.
Royce Gracie, Ken Shamrock.
Right here.
4.
Right here.
Right here. And I
mean, right back here too.
60% serious that I feel like if we get
if we can raise the funds, we could probably do it.
Just saying. Do you guys want to see
Kickstarter?
Kickstarter, Kick and Makeup, Royce Gracie. Kick and Makeup presents Royce Gracie and Ken Shamrock 4 live at Analog. Let's move on. That's not happening. But I feel like when you said unsanctioned, like,
you might as well have.
Street fight.
You might as well have.
You want to wear? We don't have any gloves or wraps. You don't need them anyway. No time limits. I got a stopwatch on my phone.
Hold on, I got a call. Just keep the round going.
Hey, no water, just neon energy drink between rounds.
That works.
So man, I don't like that. I don't even know. Like, I went to bed on Friday. Was like, what just happened? What was that? Please, Saturday and Sunday, save me from whatever that was, and it did. So, yeah, man.
Yeah, I felt
Let's
it was
move on,
it was
man.
rough.
Let's move on to the bull kick, man. All right, so here's the bull kick, and here's what we're gonna be talking about today. Bellator CEO Scott Coker's reaction to, and by the way, can I give you a pat on the back too, man?
Yes. I got you.
So, we said the other day, weight cutting, we're talking about that. I don't think we've announced on the show that like 2 days later, California State Athletic Commission passed a package of new emergency rules regarding extreme weight cuts in MMA. It's pretty cool, man.
It is.
Like, and
we made some calls and made it happen,
I didn't want to say, they don't know our relationship with the California State, but now you do, or we tell them what to do. So I just think it's so prevalent. It had to happen. We're talking about it because it's just getting too obvious. Even, Dada cutting 40. Garbrandt's opponent cutting 26 in 4 days. I don't want to watch that anymore. There's no fight. There's
No.
no fight, and that's some of this too. So, what they are gonna do now is the California State Athletic Commission banned IVs to rehydrate. They lengthened the potential time between weigh-ins, not that much though. So I think
Right.
they're looking at 72 hours. I think they added like 12 hours, 36 instead of 24. So they lengthened the time, and then they made severe dehydration a strict things doctor must look for on fight day. So that's awesome. So please, doctors, if it doesn't look like it's supposed to happen, they can call it. They can say,
Right.
you look like shit. You look, thirsty, hungry. You don't look like you're fit to fight. Fight's off. I like that, man.
I like it. I like it in theory.
Yeah.
If it's enforced, that's the problem.
That's what I'm saying. Please, I don't feel like it's going to be enforced. So
Yeah.
So Scott Bellator, the bull kick for me was Scott Bellator's reaction to this. His quote was, "I'm perfectly fine with what the California State Athletic Commission Executive Officer Andy Foster is implementing, and I hope it's something that can evolve. But as a promoter, if fighter X shows up, fighter Z shows up, we have national TV there, and then the fighter's off, 0.002 over on the test, and the doctor says you can't fight, it could really be problematic for us. I'm going to talk to Andy about it. I'm sure we'll work this out." It's going to be problematic for them. It's going to be problematic for them. So,
Death is problematic for them.
I looked at that. I'm like, yeah, death is the bigger issue here. So he's still looking at ratings, money. I get that as a promoter. I get that.
Mm-hmm.
But you answered. What a shitty quote.
Yep. I think the more damning part of the quote is the end of it. I'm gonna talk to Andy about it. I'm sure it'll all work out.
What are you gonna talk
Like,
about?
yeah, if something is passed, isn't it just passed? Like, that's just what it's gonna be. There shouldn't be any negotiation. That seeing that makes me feel like, okay, you got this rule set, but how are the promotions going to be able to wiggle themselves around the rule, or are you going to actually enforce it? And that makes me feel like,
They're gonna
no.
enforce on the lower level, just to say that they did it.
Yeah.
Just say they did it. To say they did it. Just to say they did it. Just to say they did it. So they're gonna have somebody, and they're gonna make a point to call some fights. Like, oh man, he looked really bad. It's gonna be people who have no idea who they are.
Right.
We don't care about the fight, but they're gonna say, hey, we have seen it, and we have called some fights because he just didn't look good. But then the bigger fights, they're not gonna do it.
Right.
They're not gonna do it, and we're gonna still see, people in there that shouldn't be in there. I like that they did this, but they need to keep thinking about some other stuff. Have them weighing in, 36 hours instead of 24 hours. That doesn't matter.
Right.
At that point,
It's already too late.
It's too late. At that point, you're done. The weight cutting's done. You're done really cutting weight about Wednesday if you're doing it right.
Right.
So that 12 extra hours to rehydrate or whatever, it doesn't do anything really.
Especially if you're kind of you're banning the IVs, which people use, I guess, in extreme sort of situations too. But it also isn't going to be there to help you. Right. If you are severely dehydrated to begin with. So it's like, okay, you got an extra 12 hours, but if you're severely dehydrated, you're still going to be severely dehydrated, if not worse, because you can't just normally rehydrate with an extra 12 hours if you're not getting that IV too. So
I'm gonna buy stock in Pedialyte. I think Pedialyte stock is about to rise. Shit, I just said it on the. I gotta do it like right now.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take a break and just really.
Sure, they got an app that you can do that with.
Right, Pedialyte's up. That's tomorrow. That's a text. Pedialyte's up 12%. Is it even up 12%? Is it even in percents? That's how much I don't do stocks.
I don't either.
Plus 5%.
Yeah, gotta be percent.
I feel like percents didn't sound right. All right. So I saw that. I was very upset because Scott Coker right now has to be focusing on Bellator and what happened this weekend, and he's still talking about we'll figure it out. No, man, you're not gonna figure it out. You're gonna try, like you said, try to work around it and try to make it work for you, and you're gonna let these fighters fight, and it's gonna. Oh man, I'm such a Debbie Downer because that was close. Dot at 5,000. Mm-hmm. That was really close.
About as close as you can
As
get.
close as it's been in a while, and I feel like something brewing.
And that would have been all it took too. That would have been all it took.
So stupid. That's what it needs to take.
Yep.
Is somebody dying from weight cuts.
And then everything would change, and it'd go to ridiculously strict and stringent, and the way that it should be. But yeah, it shouldn't. You should be able to realize that your sport needs preventative measures immediately.
We all watched what happens when you don't train and you don't cut weight right, and you still fight. We watched exactly what the blueprint for that and the results of that. So this is just very, very disturbing to read. This article is horrible to read. Sometimes the bull kick gets serious. This is the serious bull kick, man. I had to talk about it.
No, I mean definitely, and it's something that needs to be addressed, regardless of whatever negative attention or God forbid a fight have to be canceled because of it. But what do you do when somebody dies? Which is what's going to happen. And we have more and more fighters, it seems now, who are doing the cutting the wrong way because and I don't know if it's just because the media is reporting on it more now, but it seems like you hear about it more. And we've already had deaths in lower ranks of MMA, and nobody wants to see that happen to somebody who's in the UFC or who's in Bellator or World Series of Fighting, whatever it is. Nobody wants to see that. So it would make sense to preserve your sport and the credibility that you have for your sport to make some changes right now before it's too late. And what's going to happen is someone's going to die, and then you're going to have all these governmental inquiries into bad weight cutting processes, and then everything's going to change, and it's probably going to change and be ridiculously stringent.
We're gonna be told what to do. We're at that window right now where we still have a choice
right,
of what
to do,
and negotiations can happen, but that window's gonna close when something happens and things are gonna be thrown down upon us. So yeah, I hope that doesn't happen. So Come on, Scott Coker, man, get it together after this weekend. Like I said, focus on the kickboxing. It's a great idea. Get rid of all this other crap that you've been doing. Yeah,
and like we always say with Bellator, it's like one step forward, one step back.
This is it, man. I mean, they literally get like the upcoming good stuff going on, then we end with the bad note.
Right.
Anyway, so that's the high kick, low kick, bull kick, upcoming. Glory 27 this Friday. Bing and Boom will be there in attendance, man. This Friday, and man, how exciting that UFC Fight Pass picked it up. The card will be on, so we'll probably be on UFC Fight Pass.
Right.
I hope so.
I'm sure you'll see us.
Check out my wearing a dress shirt, maybe.
I don't know what I'm gonna wear yet.
I might wear my hair down. Just gel it straight down with two slots here.
Yep.
I can see Cousin It 2016.
That works. I mean, you'll be noticeable.
Yeah. It happens.
I have to make sure that I wear something other than black, because everyone tells me that whenever we're on TV, they say that nobody can see me because I'm wearing too much black.
JD, he's sitting right next to me.
That shadowy image you see next to Nick, yep, that's me. That's me. So yeah, maybe I'll wear some brown or something this go around.
No, what? So out of all the colors,
time to get weird.
Out of all,
this is it. This is it. Let's do it.
All right, so that's where you went for. I wear too much black. Maybe I should wear brown.
Yep, wear a little brown.
No, man. So here's the color scheme.
Should I wear this?
Yes. Let's wear super bright dress shirts, man.
Okay.
Like the color scheme.
Fuchsia.
Like,
I wear a fuchsia like button up.
Purple and pink look pretty good, man.
Yeah, I got a pink button up.
Let's just. I don't know if we should both show up purple and pink, but yellows are good. It's fashion, kick and make up fashion hour.
Yeah. What do you think? What do you think I should wear?
Perfect.
Tell me.
What would you like to see us wear? That's a very weird question right there. What
should we wear?
What should we wear on Glory 27 in Chicago? Anyway, it's gonna be an awesome show. Joe Schilling is fighting Mark Lemure in a middleweight battle. Lamari. I love Glories. It's really weird that they're coming to Chicago, because if you look at the other ones, it's like Glory Paris, Glory Italy, Glory Istanbul, Glory Chicago. Hey, man.
I'll take it.
I like that area too. I've been there a couple times. It's a cool little area. So excited that we're going to that. High
Yeah.
level kickboxing, like I said, mark our words that kickboxing is making a comeback.
And
this year.
also mark our words that we will cover the shit out of the event. So expect, constant tweets live from cage side. We're gonna get videos and video interviews. Whatever we can do, we're gonna do it. So,
Oh, man. So if
that's
you-
what we do.
Be ready.
To be bombarded.
I was gonna say I've had a few people just be like, Jesus, I like you, but you guys cover the shit out of events when you go to them. Yeah, of course, man.
Yep.
That's where we're at our happiest.
Yep.
With this kind of stuff.
I had a friend of mine tell me like I hadn't seen like on Facebook, I hadn't seen like her like respond to any of my posts, and she normally would respond to them all the time, and we talk about fights and all sorts of other stuff. And I was like, I asked her one day, I was like, what happened to you on Facebook? Like, did you get off or something? She was like, no, I just blocked you because when you guys were in Milwaukee, like you posted too much or something like that, and you like blew up my timeline. And I was like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
all right.
My brother actually said the same thing too that night. He's like, you man, like all it was. So I think we figured out what to do.
Yep.
Just
Twitter.
Or just one comment and then
And
the
reply, yep.
Instead of status updates.
Yep.
I think that was just one time we did status updates.
It was early on.
Hey man.
The early kick and make up days.
Excited. Kick and make. So that's Friday night, and then Saturday afternoon, UFC London, Silva versus Bisping, the return of Anderson Silva. Okay,
All right.
I'm excited. I like Michael Bisping a lot. I like Anderson Silva a lot. It's such a weird pairing. Oh my God, can we fucking get weird? Let's talk about.
right.
Let's talk about the Roy Jones Jr. fighting a fan.
And Kurt Angle.
$100,000. Kurt Angle versus Rey Mysterio. Michael Bisping and Chael Sonnen in a grappling match. And then, what was the other one? We're missing the MMA fight.
Yeah, I don't remember what it was.
So it's MMA, pro wrestling, grappling, and what are we missing?
I don't know. Boxing? No.
And boxing.
Yep.
We just, because I saw the Bisping. So 2 weeks later, after the Silva fight, Michael Bisping is going to grapple Chael Sonnen. Huh? Oh, it's Dan Severn.
Oh yes.
Is it Ken Shamrock?
No, it was. I think it was somebody else. I hope it was someone else.
I feel like it's Ken Shamrock
Oh God.
and Dan Severn in the MMA fight. I really
I
feel
think
like it is too.
maybe they can do like WWE. Go back to those days. That was better. It was more entertaining.
I gotta apologize to everybody too. That's the second time I've let out like a small burp. COVID didn't come into the mic. I feel so gross and rude. I'm sorry about that. But what the fuck, dude? Boxing, and that's what I told you. I am excited for it a little bit because I love all four of those things, but I don't necessarily feel like I need to see them all together
All
on
at
the
one
card
time.
2016.
Yeah.
Rey Mysterio and Kurt Angle, they're not even like what? And then
Like, is this all gonna be like in the same ring? Like, like.
and then not Rey Mysterio, excuse me, Roy Jones Jr. His brother's actually Ray Jones. Roy Jones Jr. Is gonna fight.
It's fighting Ray.
It's gonna fight. It could be. If you have to sign up to fight Roy Jones Jr., you could win $100,000, or you could die. Like, I still don't want to fight Roy Jones Jr.
No.
Like, even at his worst, I still don't want to box him.
Like this just strikes me as like, and the only reason why I know this is because I know the financial problems that Roy Jones is going through, which is why he's fighting all the time. Like, he's had, I would say, 4 or 5 fights over the past year and a half that like nobody even knows about. Like, you barely had them be covered, like anything like that. So I'm guessing that everybody that's on this card is in need of a little bit of loot. So I mean, it just takes the Bellator super fight idea and just like turns it all the way up to 10, and let's just throw everything that we can on here. What's missing?
What is missing?
Let's see.
Okay, so we got MMA. We've got
Tony Hawk skateboarding.
Yes, you could have a half pipe, but it's got to be like
No, the ring is surrounded by the half pipe.
And it's just Tony Hawk skating, not doing anything. He's like the Christmas train that goes around the tree. It's just Tony Hawk skating around the top of it. Remember, like in Chicago level, the Tony Hawk with the top level where you just go around.
Yep.
What
Or
else?
the level in the factory with the lava pit. Yep, and you had the upper level. Yep, I can see
Phelps just diving a small pool
Yes.
that he just dives in, gets out, dives in, gets out.
Over and over and over
Andre
again.
Agassi just
Yep.
hitting oh man, there's a game right there. Just hitting a tennis ball against ram.
What else? Let's.
Forrest this is weird. This is getting weird. So Tom Hanks as Forrest Gump playing ping pong in the corner.
Just the whole time.
That's the sound effects that makes. All right. So who's the Japanese guy that ate like the hot dogs? Kobayashi. Get him in there, just eating hot dogs.
Yes, make this just go all out. All out.
None of it makes sense.
No, it doesn't
makes
have
sense
to,
at
apparently.
And I'm just gonna hula hoop and,
Yep.
and juggle 2 apples.
You know what I want to see? They should have the kid cup stackers. Like they should have them there too. Like I love that, man. That's awesome.
But they can open up for the wine glass people that like.
Yes. And it takes them like 45 minutes to set up and add in like medicine droppers full of water at a time just to get the right octave. Yep.
So if
I'm down.
So we just gave away all of our secrets.
Yep.
So
and we always do that.
We do. You guys aren't gonna do anything though. You're gonna wait for us to do it. So if this goes down as a good event, we're gonna do the second one, and we're just gonna say everything
Here.
we just did here to kick off Gracie Shamrock 4.
You know what? The crazy part is that our announcement that we need to make next week is kind of genre bending too, with all the stuff that we have planned.
So we just went in, and we're gonna
kind of
man. I guess
it's a little bit more related.
It is related, man. It all ties in together.
Yeah.
These don't tie in. I mean, other than being combat sports and oh shit, you're right. I guess we just talked a bunch of shit about getting weird, and we're getting weird, and
Next
we'll
week.
announce how weird in 2 weeks from now. So
That's all right.
I'm picturing that now with all that going on. What the? This is carnival circus
Isn't that what it's called or something like that?
carnival.
Yes.
I don't know.
Carnival 1. They should have like a Nerf gun battle too.
Oh,
somewhere.
We know a guy that's got an arsenal of Nerf guns.
I know a Nerf guy. Yes.
I know a guy. God.
Who was that said that? Oh, that was Cerrone.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I love that
Let
quote.
me know. What did he say? I know a guy if you want to get beat up or something.
Yeah. I love
pretty
that.
tough.
I love that.
He's got
Yep.
good quotes.
Yep.
Like a fart in the wind. That's
Yep.
my favorite. He said something like a fart in the wind. All right, man. That can't get any weirder than that.
Nope, like a fart in the wind.
All right, man.
That should be like our phrase for everything, like a fart in the wind.
Kick and make up like a
Fart in the wind. Yep. Everything, but it fits for everything. Like whatever, I'm gonna go play these games like a fart in the wind.
Ghost. I like, man. If we do shirts, I don't know if I could wear that shirt.
I've worn worse.
Like a fart in the wind. Oh, I've
worn worse. Yeah, far worse.
Yeah.
Far worse.
All right, man. www.kickandmakeup is the website. Check out all of our archive show there. Thank you to Analog Arcade Bar, 302 Brady Street, Davenport, Iowa. Our sponsor, Neon Energy Drink, www.glowenergy.neonenergyclub.com. Check us out on our Facebook group page, Twitter, @KickandMakeUp, and @HybridMMA. Subscribe to this, share this on YouTube with your friends, Instagram.
Yes, get us out there. Keep it moving. And and just so you know, you probably don't know this, but I pay attention to all the YouTube comments and stuff. We are affectionately known as the white guy and the fat black dude. Now that's the shirt. That's the shirt. The white guy and the fat black dude.
Stating fact. I don't like that they call me fat.
That's all right. Hey,
I don't like that, man.
I've been called
I
worse.
don't like that.
I've been called worse.
I had a stage too where I was husky.
Oh, that dude! I was about to say that. That's
like
the
husky.
worst.
No,
that is the worst.
like-
No, call me fat. Call me anything.
Husky,
Anything other than
I was
husky.
husky for a while and it didn't bother me, but
The fucking husky pants, bro. the pants. It wasn't the shirts. It was the husky pants. And my mom, man, God bless my mom, but we would go to JCPenney to get my school clothes, and I would see something that was just super nice, man. And you know my mom. My mom's great. And she would just straight up tell me like, Jay, you know that's not, they don't come in husky. So like husky is ingrained in my head as being like the worst word ever.
Right,
so I can't handle husky,
no,
man.
Vanilla bean
Husky.
and the thick guy.
I don't want to be thick either.
I thick's better than
No,
fat, though. Thick's
no.
Like,
I'd rather be fat than thick.
how about
I have a female connotation when it comes to thick.
stock and chalk?
I like it.
Stocky and chalky.
I like it. I like that one.
one. Keep these coming. Now you see what we just
Yep,
did. We just
yep,
started a few
yep.
more. Let's get the white guy and the fat black guy. I can't.
Yep.
I can't support that. So let's get some more, man. www.kickandmakeup is the website. American Hybrid Nick Cunningham, Jeremy JD.
I love this show.
I love this show too, man. And I also love reminding you guys to not to solve it in the streets, but to take it to the cage and kick and make up.
Fat black dude signing out.
White guy, goodbye.